Welcome back to another summer edition of Channel 6 Sports. I'm Hannah Lowry, joined by Des Thomas and Avery Drennan to talk about men's basketball. Guys, with a 5-win improvement under Coach Pennell, for his second year, is a 15-win season possible?
I definitely think so. Going at 50% for the whole season. They won a lot of games at home this year, and I think they have a chance at winning all of their games at home next year. They always are very good about feeding. Yeah, all of them at home. They do a great job of feeding off the crowd.
Yeah, and like you say, if the crowd does get into it, then that can really bring some energy to the team. And they've made some noticeable improvements, as a team as a whole. So I really think it should be a lot more positive next season.
So with off season in full swing already, what are some things they need to improve on?
They need to, more than just improve on, they need to find someone to take over rebounding. You had Jake Zulhoff coming in, pounding the boards, just bringing down every rebound they got. They have a few guys in there that can possibly take his place, but they are nowhere near the size. And team chemistry is going to be another thing. Having these guys just kind of meld all together and become one team. It's going to be very crucial. Yeah,
going off of that, I really think the team does need more size. I mean, because size can go a long way, and just having a post game, can really make a difference. Getting a win over a team, that's big also. And with Zoloff gone, I feel like that's going to be a little bit of a hurt to the team. Just because of the size. I mean, the guy was really strong. I mean, getting rebounds. And just going against big guys, that was the team's weapon, I could say. And on top of that, really just need to get another, a couple more big guys in there, add some size, get some length, more rebounds, more post play, that can really help the team, I think.
So the fans were treated to having Justin Foreman for one season. He was arguably the leader of the team. He's gone now. How big will his absence be?
It'll be huge. Right now, they need to find who's going to step up and lead them to the promised land. When it comes to Jordan Howard, he's their go-to guy for scoring. He's just their go-to guy in general. And so right now he needs to find his voice. He needs to go out with each and every one of these guys and be able to find what makes them all tick and bring them all together. And if they can have a lot more cohesion, like I said, having all those wins at home next year will be a definite possibility.
Yes, and just like Justin Foreman was a great scorer, and that's something the team does need. And with him being gone, that is going to be a bit of a hit to the UCA. And I can say that somebody else is really going to have to step up. Jordan Howard can't do it by himself. He's going to have somebody else to say, hey, I need some 20-point games, something like that. I need to be able to have a guy that can help me put up some more numbers along with myself, so it's less pressure on him. I mean, if you have more scorers pitching in and helping out, it's less pressure. It helps the team all come together. And without Foreman, that is going to be a bit of a loss, of putting points on the board. So if they can find a replacement, that'll be great, to back up Jordan Howard. So that's really going to be something they need to look into.
Well, in addition to losing Justin Foreman, we also lost Jake Zulhoff. Do we think the replacements will come from within the team, or will they bring in transfers, freshmen, outside the program?
I think it'll be transfers and incoming freshmen. Right now, they have guys inside their program. That's Tanner Schmidt and Albert Christensen. Christensen more of a stretch four, and Schmidt no way at all in the same size as Zulhoff. He's built like a bodybuilder. So, finding someone of not even close to equal that size is going to be hard.
Yes, that is going to be hard, and it is a loss. With him being such a big guy and having such size and power and strength, and that's what we've been saying. That's what the team needs right now. So it's really going to have to come from somewhere else. Because nobody really can match his his figure and his size and his strength. Nobody on the team, at least right now. I could say that's all the way there. Close, but can we say all the way?
No, they got some height though. Some red shirted players that got some height on them.
Yeah, and that's going to be, a good addition too, having some guys step up just like Ethan Lee.
Yeah.
Guys got length. He's an athletic guy. He can do a lot of things on the court.
Oh, yeah.
He can really move.
That owner is pretty tall.
Yes.
But he's not anywhere near Jake Zulhoff size.
About
but
6'5", really scrawny.
But I mean, great athlete.
Oh, yeah.
He's really gonna, he's gonna help out. Just bringing some more size, and that's what he's got. But just have to see what we can do with that.
So we saw Coach Pennell run 4 guards a lot this season. Does that work? Do you think this can work in the Southland Conference?
It'll be hard for them to work it, especially if they don't have that size like they did last year inside with obviously Jake Zulhoff. Maybe running a four guard. If you have a bigger guard, maybe not Derek Brooks, but it's definitely where you miss Justin Foreman, where he's such a big shooting guard. Only about 6'5", 6'6", big guy muscularly, but it's going to be a stretch. If they can find someone like that, then they'll be just fine.
And just like you say, with 4 guards, I feel like 4 guards can work, but not all the time. And in the Southland Conference, you're going to go against some guys that are big, that got some size. You're going to have to, combat that. So, and with that said, basically just finding some more size for the team would really be great. I mean, but say if you're going, you got guards going against, bigger forwards and, a big center, I mean, that can be a problem, potentially for trying to guard them in those areas. I mean, because, if you got guys that are playing 5 inches taller than you, some got size and got strength, I mean, rebounds are going to come and, gonna have to go in there, you driving to the goal, you got size, raising up in front of you. I mean, that can cause some problems. So, it really depends on what team you're going to be playing against if you're going to run 4 guards, and that really needs to be, studied ahead of time of how that's going to go. So
I mentioned earlier, 4 players were redshirted this past season. What do we think when bringing them back? What do you think they'll contribute?
I feel like they're really just going to have to, after being redshirted, your confidence goes down just a little bit just because you haven't been out there in all the action, and being able, to be in the game. But really, I just hope a lot of these guys, been in practices, been working hard, and just being able to, give as much as they can. Like Ethan Lee, he's going to come back and do his thing.
That's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Athleticism, so, and yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see him come back.
Well, first, having those guys just allows Coach Pennell to kind of experiment with who's going to do their job. And for these guys, during that process, they are going to need to find who is going to do, they need to figure out what job they are going to do for Pennell. What jobs does Pennell want done? Who's going to be the rebounder? Who's going to be your go-to defender, Finding that is what's going to be big for some of these guys. It'll be their way to break rotation and give Pennell way more weapons to work with next season.
So looking ahead into the 2016-2017 season, where do you see the Bears in the Southland standings?
Well, I think it's up in the air. I mean, these guys, have really got, some areas they need to work on. They need to develop all together as a team, and they just really need to prove themselves. I mean, having a shaky last couple, seasons, I mean.
They've improved.
They have improved, but there are areas, just more guys are going to have to step up. More guys are going to have to score, and more, defense is just, it's everything as a whole for the team is going to have to improve if we want to see some more wins.
And, just seeing how they've operated, how they're going to improve, and all of that, I think they can, on a positive note, I think they have a chance of being middle of the pack. If they can really find out who's going to do work, able to find a bigger rotation than last year, they have a definite chance of making middle of the pack, definitely taking all their wins at home, maybe winning 1 or 2, maybe 4 away. It just all depends on how they work in this preseason, in this off season.
So after a miraculous run in NCAA tournament the 3 past seasons, Stephen F. Austin coach Brad Underwood left for another coaching position at Oklahoma State. Does this make Stephen F. Austin a winnable game for the Bears?
I wouldn't say so, realistically, but it's at home, maybe a little bit more realistically. They have a chance if that team were to fire on all cylinders, they have a real good chance because there's only Stephen F. Austin didn't lose. They really didn't lose. I mean, obviously they lost their biggest player in walk-up, and so all depends on how UCA is going to try and work against that team. At Stephen F. Austin, they're gonna have to play elite, super elite.
Oh yeah, and you got to think about it. With the loss that UCA took to Stephen F. Austin last season, it's one of those things where these guys are going to come back into the game confident, and these guys are going to say, hey, we got those guys last year, we can do it again. That's how they're going to feel. And UCA is going to have to deal with that, and they're going to have that in their mind. So, just with the coach leaving, I honestly don't think it's just enough. I think that with that loss, it's okay. Guys are still going to know how to play against UCA.
Yeah, but they're going to have to restructure their whole team. Without a coach, I think it's winnable. Maybe a stretch. They're going to have to restructure without. They're losing their head coach. Come on.
They are.
But
at the same time, these guys are going to come in confident, and they're going to know what they can and can't do. They're going to know that going against UCA. So no shade. Just saying.
Yeah, I think if they're thrown into like a different system, like absolutely completely different from what they originally ran, they might have definitely some problems running in against UCA if they have no idea what they're doing.
If they do.
If
they do.
Okay, moving on. So Coach Pennell's first season here in 2014-2015, the Bears won 2 games. This past season, they did a little better. They won 6 games. So how many wins are realistic this upcoming season?
I think we were talking about this earlier. I think they have a chance to break 500 if they were able to find, those guys who are going to do their jobs. It just all depends on how these guys are able to buy into Pennell systems. Most of these guys really have. They've been finding a way to discipline themselves, run sets, not really go wild out there, play individually. They've had a good time of playing together as a team.
And I think this next season could honestly be better, and I feel like they could go 500. But really, like we've been saying, guys are going to have to step up, and there needs to be another guy, kind of like Justin Foreman, that can put up some points on the board to help out Howard. Because if they don't have that, that's going to be an issue. That's going to be a problem, trying to beat teams, because if not enough guys are scoring, putting up enough points, but the defense is there, that's still a problem, So, mainly we need more on offense, have some guys scoring and step up, and that really is what's going to help them get some more wins. Because if the pressure is all on Jordan Howard and the team can't help him out, when he's the leading scorer already, then you just got to have another option.
So will the Bears compete in the 2017 Southland Conference Championship game?
Well, talking on what we were just talking about, I think they can. If they can break that 500, I think they have a chance of doing that.
It is a possibility. It is in the air, but to speak on that, I can say that's going to be a challenge.
I agree. Maybe not 2017, maybe 2018 they'll make the tournament, but they have nowhere to go but up from here. So what are your bold predictions? Just wrapping it all up.
Going on a little scoring route, I've talked about this before. I could see Jordan Howard going off, scoring 40 to 50 points in a game, just going off and just carrying a team through one game, having that shooter stroke that he has. He's able to hit from very far beyond. Maybe UCA going over 500. That would be definitely a very bold prediction. Going into the SLC tournament, going into maybe not the championship, but the semifinals. That would be one heck of a run.
Yeah.
And I agree. I feel like Jordan Howard is going to stay that guy. He's going to be that guy that really carries the team and, is really putting up points on the board. And I feel like if a lot more guys, if maybe even one guy can be found that can put up half or a little bit more than that of what Jordan Howard will score, then the team can really get a lot more wins. If we just have maybe, say, 1 or 2 guys put up some more points than they have been, improve themselves, I feel like UCA Bears can really go a lot farther and get some more wins this season.
Yeah, definitely. That's all we have for this summer edition of Channel 6 Sports. I'm Hannah Lowry. Thank you for watching.